I was not audible. So kindly let us. We will start. Okay, let me just. Sorry about that. I'm experiencing some network problem. So to my side, I feel like I cannot. I'm not audible. But then no. So, sorry about that. Now I you can hear me. So good evening, everyone. My name is Grace, and I'm happy to see you. Sorry. Okay, I think now I'm audible. Pardon about that. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to see you that you're all joining in for this TWILE Open Day. I'm very excited for the chat we're going to have today. And I would like for us, before we start our open day, to start the session with a word of prayer. So kindly let's bow and we will be starting. Dear God, we come before thee. We say thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. We thank you, dear God, for giving us a chance to join this meeting today. Looking forward to good conversations and to good decisions, dear God. We thank you and we adore you. And it is in Jesus' name we pray and we believe. Amen. Okay, so before I start doing my introductions, this is what I would kindly request of you. Those who have joined us shortly and who have not turned on their videos, our videos are on. And I would like to just give a brief of what we will be expecting today. We're still having people joining us and looking forward to having more of the TWILE alumni because today we will be having conversations with those people who joined the program, who already went through the program and are now alumni, and they would like to share with us their experience, how the journey was for them, and I'll be introducing them shortly. So I'm glad that we are all online. And TWILE, as I have been mentioning to you, is Timeless Leadership and Enterprise Mentorship Program, which is a program for you. And I believe that you've joined is what you're looking for. So on the call, I will start with one of our TWILE alumni who is Jane Mburia. She's online. I will be introducing the other alumni as they join in. I believe Tambisile, you're online. Oh, sorry, I think she's left. So I'll be introducing Jane Mburia, who is from Kenya and was in the TWILE program in 2020. So Jane, just say hi. Just do a short introduction of yourself, just saying who you are, what you're doing, and which country you're from, even though I've already said you're from Kenya. And then once the other TWILE alumni will be joining us, I will continue introducing them so that you can know who they are.
Okay. All right. So good evening, everyone. And thank you, Grace, for the brief introduction. Thank you, Madam Khan. So my name is Jane Buria, and as Grace has mentioned, I am from Nairobi, Kenya. And I am what you can call Game Group 2020. We recently graduated. Currently, and I know I'll get an opportunity to share some more, but currently I am in management consulting practice. I'm the CEO and principal consultant of Lead Insights Africa. So we work with businesses and corporates in just modeling their business strategies with a customer-centric view, as well as leveraging on data and insights for profitability and growth, and a host of other things. I'm a leader, I'm a mentor, and I'm also a coach. Thank you. Grace, back to you. Back to you, Grace.
Thank you, Jane, for joining us. So I would like to tell you just a little bit of the TWILE fellows. We call them fellows, those who join the program. And I'd just like to tell you briefly of who these amazing ladies were, and I still are. It's just that I'm using past tense because they were in the program last year. They graduated in February. Um, okay, sorry, just a second. So that they did join the program last year in 2020, and I'm sorry for that they're not all joined in. Some are experiencing some network problems. Some will say that they're saying they will be joining us shortly, but then I would like us to continue with this session because we have a very passionate lady in our midst who started this organization by the name Timeless Women of Wonder, vision to empower women to move to the next level in their careers, in their leadership, in their businesses, and also to change Africa socially and economically. So Madame Nyakang, who is also the vision bearer of the organization, we're very glad to have you in our midst, and I would like to welcome you
Thank you.
to
Thank you so
speak
much.
to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. Today is a very special day, and glad that I've seen a couple of you consistently coming to the TWILE Open Days. It shows your interest, and I think you're in the right place. Today is going to be very exciting because it's one thing for us to talk about our TWILE mentorship program. It's one thing for us to talk about the vision, to talk about what we've been doing over the past couple of years. But it's best to hear from those who've actually walked the journey and see where they're at now. We've had the TWILE mentorship program run from 2015. So we've got 6 editions on. The 2021 class is going to be the 6th edition and very, very exciting. So today, I won't take much of your time. I'll just give a short background of the organization, TWILE, and a little bit about the program so that you can have a full understanding about what the program is, what the objectives are, what we intend to achieve, and the things we've been doing. And then we can quickly move on to, no, Grace, you can just wait first. I'll tell you when I'd love the documents. Just follow my lead, thank you. Yeah, so we have actually been running this program for a couple of years, and I think that it's been a real privilege to see the impact that this program has had on all our fellows. So a little bit about the program before we project the organization. A couple of years back, when we were questioning what Africa needs to be able to transform, to be able to fulfill her potential, to be able to become prosperous, we were looking at the various things that we felt needed to happen in the continent. We also looked at a radical shift that needed to happen, and that radical shift was in the mindset. We needed to transform our mindsets and recognize that Africa is really a blessed continent full of resources. That's not news to you people anymore. It has come to light that really we are the wealthiest continent. However, with that fact in hand, we still record some of the poorest countries economically. We're cash poor, and economically, on the economic research and statistics, we're ranked very low on economic impact and social transformation. Solving our problems and creating wealth has been a challenge so far. So when we ask why is it? There's many reasons why, and personally, I think that we need to look at a couple of things and make some readjustments and realignments. We need to look at what we teach, because if we're not teaching critical thinkers, problem solvers, leaders, entrepreneurs, we continue to perpetuate the dependency syndrome. We continue to perpetuate people who are looking for handouts and people who are entitled, who just think there's one track, and that has to be just jobs that are handed over to us. And a certain way, we're not even value adding in the jobs that we have. We're just conveyor belts, So we need to rethink how we are developing the next generation. And everything rises and falls on leadership, right? The kind of leaders positioned in every sphere of influence, whether it's in government, whether it's in public sector, whether you're in business, whether you're in the corporate, whether you're in the communities, whether you're in politics, whether you're in the home, what is your role? Are you conscious? Are you a conscious leader who is leading day to day, adding value, empowering, and leaving your environment and community a better place? So we were looking at that. Then looking at Africa, we were also looking at some of the realities we were observing. A lot of donor dependency, a lot of entitlement, a lot of murmuring, a lot of blame. We blame other people for problems, no matter what the reason and facts are. The fact is we're where we are today, and the future of Africa is in our hands. No matter what the past looks like, it's time to take stock of what today is and make a difference moving forward. Play your role. Wherever your role is, play your role, okay? And so we said we've got to shift the game. We've got to become responsible citizens of the continent, of our countries, of our communities, of our families, responsible citizens who take responsibility for the situations, look for the solutions for the problems that faces, look at the opportunities that are presented, before us, and be wealth creators. So we had to shift that. And we said, look, we cannot be the people pointing at the government, pointing at foreigners, pointing at colonialists, pointing at past mistakes, pointing at everything except ourselves for the state of our continent. So we started to look and say, so what do we do about this? If we're going to shift that game, we have to lead by example. We cannot be waiting and saying, we're waiting for the African Union to change this. We're waiting for the government and the presidents to think like this and change this. Everybody is positioned where they're positioned, doing the best they can with what they have at the time. So what we need to be focused on is, what do we need to do from where we are? And we decided, okay, from where we are, let us create a vehicle. So we set up the organization, the Timeless Women of Wonder organization, as a vehicle for transformation, for Africa's socio-economic transformation, solving Africa's problems and creating wealth. And then we said, let us look at the critical areas that we need to engage in. We can't be everywhere. We cannot be doing everything. Let us focus on our niche areas, the areas we feel strongest positioned to bring about change, impact, and influence, and where it is we can present the best opportunity to create a critical mass of people who are solving problems and creating wealth. And so shortly, I'll ask Grace to put up the pillars, but not yet, because I want to provide this background. And then we said, when you look at the continent, obviously the resources are just all over, they're spanning. We even have the best rainfall patterns. I mean, it rains every so often, and our rainfall patterns are quite seasonal and predictable by and large, even though there's climate change. We've got large water coverage. We've got arable land. We've got mineral resources. So what is the problem? The mindset. And that mindset, I call it the poverty mindset. Okay. Then we also have a disjointed way that we work. We don't collaborate much. We're really a lot in competition. We don't plan for succession. We don't impart knowledge, wisdom, experience, and a lot of things. So just like in many other parts of the world, I think we have the most expensive graves, because people die with the knowledge. They're not passing the knowledge. They're not passing mantles. Leadership is like forever. People are not nurturing new leaders and imparting and creating a critical mass of leaders who are going to perpetuate that and a particular agenda. So again, succession planning, legacy, mentorship, these things were lacking. So when we said we're starting our organization, we said that we also have to embody practically these elements that we feel are lacking and make it a way of life. So when we started the organization, you will see, Grace, if you could just put it up now, thank you. When we started the organization, we then decided that, yeah, thank you. It's very small, Grace, if you could, yeah. So when we started the organization, Grace, if you could just blow up your screen, I don't know, it's cutting the document in half.
Sorry about that. Let me try and share it again.
Okay, thank you, Grace. Okay, so while we are on that, as she tries to share the document, we decided that we're going to have an organization that's going to be Pan-African, creating a movement of change agents and projects and programs that are working throughout Africa, and that are embodying collaboration, embodying, mentorship, succession planning, legacy, problem solvers, wealth creators as a way of life. Okay, and then we decided, and you will see when Grace comes up with the shared screen, you will see that we also developed 7 pillars through which we develop our work, 7 pillars through which we deliver our work. Okay, let's see if it'll show right now. In the meantime, welcome our great alumni, Game Changers, 5th edition, class of 2020. It's so good to see you guys online. I think the faculty did really enjoy walking the journey with you guys. The mentors were awesome. I think it was such a highly impactful edition. We look forward to similar right? Okay, so
right, thank you.
The 7 pillars. So the organization is a Pan-African organization that's, focused on solving Africa's problems and creating wealth, socio-economic transformation of the continent of Africa. We work through our 7 pillars, and you will see our 7 pillars are numbered in exact order. We believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. So the role that leadership plays in every situation is very critical. The kind of leadership in every sphere of influence, in the home, in church, in the communities, in our social networks and gatherings, in our government, in our politics, the kind of leadership, the corporate world, the businesses, the kind of leadership that we have determines the future, Grace, well, you have WhatsApp on. Yeah, the 7 pillars. Let's keep the 7 pillars. Yeah, thanks. It's the 7 pillars that I wanted. So the kind of leadership that we have determines the outcome of the future in every situation. So you'll see it's number 1 in our strategic pillars. And there we're focused at building a critical mass of leaders who are change agents for Africa's socioeconomic transformation. They're problem solvers, critical thinkers. They're thinking leadership, they're thinking being enablers for economic transformation. Very, very key. That's why you will see the mentorship program has a leadership and enterprise component. Whether you're in government, politics, community, home, everywhere, economic transformation, economic impact is so important for yourself and those around you and the future, all right? So, leadership is a first pillar, and that we look at leadership across the board. Young women, every age, every component, different types of leadership programs. The second pillar is our empowerment pillar, and that focuses on skills for industry. What are the skills we need to be able to impact our industries? We are very passionate as TWILE to begin to industrialize Africa, to begin to move into value addition, production, manufacturing, the higher value chains, okay? Because that's where wealth is going to come. We cannot have all those natural resources, all those minerals, all the things that we've talked about, arable land, food, and we're not producers. So we need to move into production. And so that pillar focuses on the skills for production, skills for industry. And then we have the third pillar, which really intertwines in almost all the other pillars, which is the enterprise pillar. We're looking at people who are going to be entrepreneurial and intrapreneurial. If you have a job in the corporate, you work somewhere, you need to have the mindset of wealth creation in that space. So we look at developing intrapreneurs, okay? People who are thinking entrepreneurially in their workplace, and people who are not, employed per se, but are self-employed. Then we're looking at their role of being entrepreneurs and enterprise development in that sense. So that pillar focuses on that. The fourth pillar is a center of everything. And the center of everything is the people, families, communities that become nations, that become the continents, that become the world. And here we're focusing on what goes in. We're focusing on our education, our value system, our identity, okay? And, there we work with key stakeholders throughout the different sectors, especially education and influences of education, and where it is that we have people or institutions or platforms that impact on the person, so that we're looking at a value system that's healthy, a common identity as Africans, and we're looking at education. We're looking at what are we putting in to get the product of what we're looking at generationally. And then the fifth pillar is media, being conscious about the role of media and tech in leveraging and spreading the work that we're doing everywhere and in influencing a movement of change. The sixth pillar is for men, because I do know men have come on the call and you're just in the right place, totally aligned, because the matter of transformation, the matter of solving problems, creating wealth, leadership is not a gender matter. it's a human matter. It's a human agenda. Okay. So, but because a lot of our programs also look at inclusive transformation and inclusive empowerment, we focus a lot on women and youth, but we make sure that we're mainstreaming men as a strategy, as bridges in all the work that we're doing, so that we're having a balanced, inclusive movement of great change agents who are going to transform Africa. And then the seventh pillar is our knowledge and partnerships pillar. And in this, we host platforms to connect, to network, to learn, to exchange knowledge, to share knowledge, to bridge, certain issues, to create new programs and initiatives, to create partnerships, and to create linkages, right? And so once a year, we host a timeless conference in a different country in Africa every February. Keep looking out for that, because you just need to be part of that. Just engage, connect, learn, link up, with people outside of Africa, investors, partners, people like you, leaders like you from everywhere within Africa, top leaders, normal leaders, people who are interested in being part of Africa's transformation story. So the whole purpose of having that seventh pillar is pegged on knowledge is power and ignorance is costly. Africa has tailed economically because of ignorance, okay? Lack of knowledge, because without knowledge, you can't plan. You can't do your long-term planning. You can't be strategic. Yet we have some of the most intelligent and strategic people. We've got a lot of knowledge on the continent. We've got a lot of research, a lot of great policies. But what do we need now to begin to use that knowledge, to use those strategies, those policies, the research that we have, to be able to map out long-term strategic goals? And I encourage everybody who's on TWILE, who's really passionate about Africa's transformation, to look at our roadmap that already exists, the Agenda 2063, Africa's Strategy of Transformation, beautiful blueprint, so that even at an individual level, you're mapping yourself according to that blueprint. If 1+ billion people of Africa were looking at our everyday decisions and actions based on that roadmap, guess where we would be? So this is a summary of the organization. And what we do within the TWILE mentorship program that falls under the first pillar and the third pillar, it's a twin of the timeless leadership and timeless enterprise pillars, is to be able to equip leaders such as yourself, individuals who want to increase their impact, who want to increase their influence, who want to increase their networks, and who want to increase their net worth, to be able to get clarity on their legacy roadmap and begin to move very purposefully towards that transformation goal. Okay. So when you look at Grace, thank you for the presentation. You can stop sharing. When you look at our legacy goals, do you have a legacy goal? Do you think about what life will be when you're dead? Do you think about the impact you will leave when you're long gone? And that has nothing to do with whether you're the president or not. It has everything to do with you're on earth for a reason. Are you conscious about your day-to-day actions and how that is leading to transformation around you? Are you a problem solver? Are you a wealth creator? Do you want to be that? Do you want to create impact? Do you want to be targeted and purposeful and have clarity on what kind of influence you want to have on people, on things, on an agenda? And it's okay not to know at the beginning of the program. A lot of people at the beginning of the program, they could be accomplished. They may not be, as far as they're concerned, but the program helps you to gain that clarity along the journey. Do you want to be strategic about your networks? And as you increase those networks, a lot of people have card works, piles of cards. And then you say that I have a strong network. Are those people who are able to connect with you strategically to push, influence, and transform a certain agenda? How do you unlock value out of your networks? These are things that we tackle on the program. And you will see from the variety that we've had on the program, diverse people from different countries, different sectors, different personalities, different passions and interests already become your powerful network just on the fellows alone. And then you have, excellent, very high achieving, successful mentors, global mentors from all over the world We've got hundreds of mentors on our platform. And each person, each fellow on the program, based on your target desired area of growth and impact that you want to create, you are paired with one global leader who is a high achiever, successful captain of industry in the area that you desire to be successful in, where you're going. And they help you walk that journey to provide clarity, inputs, insights. And you'll hear from our alumni today on how some of that has been for them and where they're at today. Yeah. So, we thought that if we are going to remember, I said the things that we observed were lacking in Africa. And we said, if we're going to become the change agents for Africa, by also turning around some of these things that we were challenged with, we said we need to have a mentorship program that creates a way of life where we're giving back, where we are transferring knowledge, we are sharing our networks, we are sharing our experiences, our wisdom, okay? Because experience brings wisdom over certain matters. And these are people who are willing to share their wisdom, very genuine, authentic people, very successful people, but really authentic. And these are people who are passionate about Africa's transformation. They have walked the journey with us over years, and they are just always ready to really, really impact our fellows with whatever is needed to help them move to that space where they can really move forward. When you join the program, we begin to work with a faculty. You will engage with a faculty, a very seasoned faculty, very experienced. This is not textbook program. If you're looking for another PhD, another doctorate, another master's, this is not the program for you, my dear. This is a practical, real life program that is strategic. You engage with a strategic faculty that walks with you, opens up your mind, your thinking, helps you to find clarity and shape your leadership roadmap. And so everybody who comes on the program leaves the program with what we call a TWILE legacy flight plan. A flight plan is given to a pilot before they take off to know the route where they're going and the path that they're going to take, okay? So each of these fellows, all the fellows who have left the program have a legacy roadmap, okay? They have a flight plan, which they will be looking at. It has a short-term, medium-term, and long-term, plan for where it is they're going with their impact and transformation and their legacy, we're going to talk about all those things. And then, the program will also help you to maximize on your interactions and engagement. So, you will be able to see that our alumni are from different countries and they are so connected. Moving forward, they have a pool of resources, of knowledge, of support, of like-minded people whom they can connect with and talk with. So without much ado, I just want to move on to this next part of the session. Grace had projected to us a very beautiful poster that was just whetting my appetite, on having intimate coffees. Grace, you should have told us all to come with our coffee mugs. That's a minimum you should have told us. We should have been doing coffee like this and now sitting back, But, thank you for the beautiful, visual. I hope that you're all, tuned in to this coffee chat. Very beautiful, visual. Thank you, Grace, for that. But now I want to really, really invite our alumni now into this coffee chat. And those of you who are on the open day, feel free. Also have your coffee, visual or physical, and begin to start preparing questions, comments that you want to engage with our alumni. Because these are you, These are those who are you at this point. 1 year ago, they were you. They were sitting on an open day, listening like this and asking themselves questions, and they took the leap. And so they are you. Half the questions you have in your head, they're the best people here to answer after you've had their story. So, Grace, I really want to thank Grace. Grace is such an awesome support for the program. She's our program support. You can see all the fellows know her, mentors know her, a lot of faculty know her, everybody knows her, You all know her. You all who came onto the open day, you know her. Grace, thank you so much for the work that you do behind the scenes with the rest of the team that get everything going. We really, really appreciate that, And I'd love to now bring to you guys, and I'll just do a quick quick introduction of all the fellows, alumni who are on the call today. It's just a sample that we have picked of the many, many alumni that we have on our program. And I just want to thank them. I have smiles on my face because these people are game changers. Every edition is given a title. And the 2020 edition was given Game Changers. So each year, this one, you'll see they introduce themselves as the TWILE Fellow Game Changer 2020, you know. And there's certain things that, you know, on the launch of 2021, you will be launched with your name and you become that name and you embody it for the continent and for your global legacy goals, okay? So I'd love to begin to introduce to you Jen Buria. Jen Buria, all the way from Kenya. Jen, if you could wave so that we all know who you are. Yeah, all the way from Kenya, a consultant, had just transitioned from her work before joining the program, did not know where she was going, wanted clarity. She had some insights as to what she wanted and joined the program. We listened to her. Jane, very proud of your journey. Thank you for being here. I look forward to great game-changing things moving forward. And we'll be hearing from you shortly. Next, I want to invite a very great woman, Nazreen Conant, all the way from Malawi. Nazreen is also our country director for TWILE Malawi, and you'll be hearing from her. She's also an entrepreneur, owner of a school in Malawi, came into the program. She just knew she had to be, you know, did not know why, but knew she had to be. She'll tell us why. She just knew she had to be and what the journey has been so far, what it did for her, where is she going next? Nazreen, thank you so much. Wave to us so that we know who you are. Thank you so much for being on the call. I'm really looking forward to being, you know, sharing this coffee chat with you. Next, we have Zonke Nayo. Zonke, could you wave to us? Okay. So Zonke is all the way from South Africa, a passionate woman. At the time she was joining the program, just like many of you, I think she was talking to the faculty saying, I don't know if I will make it. I don't know if I should, whatever. I work for government. I don't know if I can do it, but I want to be there and I must be there. And she joined and she went through the journey and we want to see where she's at and where she's going to. And Zonke also got the award, the Mobilization Award of 2020, right? Yes, yeah. Zonke, very proud of you. And Zonke, each edition also has 2 leaders that are selected to represent the year, because you're not just leaders, you know, as an edition, you're all leaders, change agents for the continent in your area of influence, even if it's your home, right? And from time to time, after that edition, we always have opportunities where the leaders have to represent, you know, things in their whatever. We have opportunities for leaders. And so each year selects 2 leaders to lead that year. And this year's leader had 2 leaders. Zonke was a deputy leader for the class of 2020. We're so proud of your journey, Zonke. We want to hear where you are, what it was like to come in and where you're going, where things are now. You guys are really game changers. Next, I want you to Sile. Tembi, could you wave to us wherever you are so that we know that you're on? Hello, Tembi. Yeah. Tembi is from Botswana, joined the program, you know, really connected with her fellows. And, you know, during the year of 2020, she was appointed the leader of the class of 2020 edition, is doing a great role. She's a game changer, and we call them, they're all game changers, and they're so amazing. You'll hear their stories, but you know, game changer of game changers, right? Tembi is from Botswana in the financial services sector. That was a time that it was hit so hard with COVID, but she was so determined to come in and just see how she can realign her business and make changes through COVID. You know, the financial services was one of the hardest hits, Tembi, right? And you'll tell us how you still came on the program and why you came on and what you're doing right now. How did the program impact you? We'll be hearing from you shortly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I only knew we are going to have 6, but I see they're all here. Priska, so good to see you. That's a wonderful surprise. Priska, say hello. Turn your video and say hello. You're a wonderful surprise today. Priska, how are you?
Hi, everybody.
How are
Hi,
you?
Krista. Hi, Krista. Good.
Yes, good to see everybody.
It's so good to see you,
Yes.
Priska. You're a wonderful surprise. You know, these guys know how to find each other. You see, they even knew that we're online somehow, you know. Priska is in Botswana and she's in the health sector. You know, COVID really hit that sector hard. I think she's one of the fellows who stuck it through. They didn't know how she was going to survive through the program, survived the program. You'll tell us, now that you're on, you will also tell us just how the journey was for you. So without much ado, I will just begin the conversation organically. Those of you who are online, today is your day. All the questions, these are who you were 1 year ago. They had all the questions you have in your mind. My business is being affected by COVID. I don't know where I'm going. I would love to have this transformation, impact, legacy. I know where I'm going. I don't know how to circumvent this. How will it happen? You have the fellows. They will be here to answer. So without much ado, I'd love to begin with Jane. Jane, tell us about your journey. Why did you join? What were your thoughts on a year ago on a day like this? And why did you decide to join TWILE? And how has the journey been? What have you been your highlights? And then finish by telling us where you're going now. How is it like? What's your roadmap and legacy looking at? And I must tell you that Jane's flight plan was one of the highest ranked flight plans, you know, in the program class of 2020. Go ahead, Jane.
Wow, thank you very much, Madam Nyakan, and a very good evening once again to the ladies, as well as welcome. It's amazing to see the different parts of the continent represented, just like we were. So that was also very exciting for us in our class last year. Where do I begin? That's a lot, but there's so much to say about my TWILE journey.
1 year ago, Jane, sitting in a room like this, what was in your thought? What were you thinking?
Wow.
And why did you decide to join TWILE? And then tell us about the journey, your highlights and where you're at.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's a good place to start. 1 year ago, I was in this space that had a bit of an idea of what I want to do, but really no clear, it wasn't clear in my mind. So there were all these thoughts. I had just transitioned, just as Madame Nyakan had shared, I had transitioned from corporate and a very comfortable space of 20 years of working in the financial services sector. So very structured, very clear. I had been there for a while as a leader. And I reached a point where I knew, no, there is something more to Jane, and there is something more to what I feel that I'm called to do, and I can impact beyond the kind of work that I've been doing over the last few years. And not necessarily that it would have to be very different, but I just knew I needed a space that allows me to thrive and grow. And so when I heard about TWILE, I actually had it directly from Madame Nyakan, and it really resonated with me. I said, you know, I'm not very, sorry, I'm a business as an entrepreneur. What do I know about enterprise? What do I know about business? I need the tools, I need the skills to be equipped as a business or as an entrepreneur. I need these ideas. I had so many ideas, and I had, you know, a skeleton of an idea of this is what I want to do in consulting, but how do I get there? And so when I saw, you know, just the program outline, and Madame Nyakan shared that with us, and it just totally resonated with me. And I said, this is something that I should explore. And it worked perfectly for me because even the timing, the flexibility that I had within last year, as opposed to you know, maybe previous years, it just seemed right. It just fell into place. And the fact that, you know, of course, like yourselves and those who are planning to do the program, I had very many questions. But then when I had, especially around the vision, around what the program entails. So this is not just an ordinary program, class sitting, and, you know, a textbook, you know, syllabus, but it sounded like a very practical sort of step-by-step session where you'll be also guided through and you have access to mentors, very qualified faculty and all that. And I said, this is it, you know, I may not have the full details, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And so having started that journey, I look back and I say, wow, you know, I have no regrets. I have everything to be so grateful for, because there's been a lot of growth for me, and we are still growing and learning. We haven't arrived, you know, we are always growing and learning. And I have become richer on many fronts. You'd think I've been in business for a long time, but I have learned so much. My eyes were opened to what it is that I need to put around my business plan. So I had a business plan, but then now building onto that with the right tools, with the right knowledge, you know, on how to set up as a startup, especially because I was coming from the point of I'm a startup. What do you do as a startup? How do you prepare yourself for investor readiness? You know, which is something that I am actually in a current space where we are looking at investor readiness. We are looking at people who are saying, we think we can work with you, or we would want to work with you, that sort of thing. And then thirdly, of course, coming across such a wonderful network of fellows, you know, from across the continent. These are friends right now that I work with. These are people who, if I need market intelligence or if I want to share best practice or get best practice from them, they're so ready to help. So they've become more than fellows. They have become friends and sisters, because at that time our class was all ladies and women, and then in their different spheres there, as well as locally. So they open doors, so both locally and also, you know, within the Africa context, because for me, I was able to also see, that's also something else from the class. I'm also very passionate about leadership and growth and empowering others in leadership. So I was able to see and challenge myself and see, how can I position myself as a personal brand, as a brand. It's also part of what we are taught in the class, as well as position the business of the consulting to not only confined within my current community, but then see it even from a bigger space of what legacy will you leave, either within the region or in Africa, what kind of impact, or how am I also building up myself to be able to create that impact or transformational change or leadership. And so my eyes were opened to seeing just a lot, and to seeing myself from the bigger picture, not just seeing I'm starting a business. I started at a briefcase and then hope that it will survive to the end in this, you know, but you know, you sort of feel that you can actually start with a bigger vision. Yeah, and that's where it also comes to part of the impact that has come across for me. One of my biggest highlights was also the TWILE roadmap, or the flight plan. And thank you, Madam Yakan, for your kind words, and also the faculty. But you know, it was really, really an eye-opener for me, because it made me think through very clearly and come out with that clarity that I needed around what is it that I can do as the company that I was trying to build, which is Lead Insights, and have a 0 to 3 years, 0 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years plus plan, you know. So I'm seeing it from a bigger picture, and then also having the support, you know, from the faculty and my mentor, to see how do we also strengthen, you know, those ideas or thoughts that we have around it, beyond just either profitability, beyond just creating wealth, but it's also creating wealth for others, and also impacts on others or community, or how is your business also from a sustainability point of view, creating value, yeah, beyond just your scope or what you had initially thought. So I thought, for me, that was my biggest, one of my biggest highlights, and having that gives me the confidence to step out and say, yes, so at least I have some form of direction or some way to go, and you're never alone. You still have, even beyond the program, I can still call Madam Yakan and say, hey, this is what I'm going through, what are your thoughts, or a faculty or my mentor. You still have that accessibility. So it doesn't end with the program, and I think that is something really valuable even to just walk away with. And then, you know, your networks have also been mentioned. You know, it is said that your network is your network. So having to be able to expand my network beyond the circles that I know or the contacts that I know, to have the kind of people that now I can call. These are part of my network, as in if somebody calls the faculty from anywhere else, they can be my references, or they can actually say, yes, we do know Jane Guria, you know, or my mentor. And my mentor is actually not even a local, is not even a Kenyan. So whoever I was paired up with, and this might be also your experience as you come on board, it was really, you know, it was so amazing how I was paired with a great mentor who is actually based in the US. So that even just opens doors even further for me to just also get even more insight and knowledge on how things are done on the other end. Until today, we are even still in touch with the mentor, and he has remained very helpful even in this journey as I continue to learn and grow. So I think there is so much to say. There is so much to say. Journey, but I think, to be really honest, you know, a lot of appreciation to Madam Yakan, the faculty, the mentors, the TWILE team for just, you know, just for all the pouring out and the knowledge and the input that has gone into even just helping us with our journeys. I do feel like a richer person today, and that it was worth the investment. In leadership, you never stop learning and growing. And so even for me, I think just having been part of the TWILE program, I was able, you know, I'm still able to share with my friends about, you know, what are some of those highlights. And I'm happy to see my friend Sharon is online as well. And to just, because it's something that I can actually vouch for in terms of the impact, the learnings, and the various interactions and value that also comes out of it. So where am I at now? Yes. Still applying and implementing some of the discussions, some of the items on the flight plan, but seeing some fruit coming out of it and feeling more confident and investor ready, yeah, as a business to take off to the next level. And that I really appreciate. So thank you very much.
Awesome, Jane. Thank you. And tell me, what was your biggest fear before you joined TWILE? COVID just hit.
Wow.
What was your
yeah, some of my top of mind, some of the biggest fears were, will I make it for the classes? Then now that one, even I had to shove off, because I realized, I'm in a different season right now. It's not even the way I was in corporate, where time was fixed and all that. And even by then, there was flexibility around the program. So even for those that may have that fear, you'll find that there's actually flexibility around running the program, whether you're in employment or not. So there will still be time for you to join the classes and the sessions. Another fear for me was, of course, being very new in business, in this new world of business, and coming out from a very structural space into something that I'm trying to build. I was wondering, will I make it? Will I? Is this for me, or should I hold it later for another a time, etc. So that you know, I realized that with the course outline, that the topics were very, very relevant for me, and I felt that even for other programs that I have seen coming through in other ways, because there are all sorts of programs that are running through, you'll find that it's more about the topic and the session, and that's it. But for me, it really spoke to me, because I'm very passionate also about leadership and the continent of Africa, to see that as I am being equipped with these skills, then, you know, we're also talking about the context, the bigger picture, in terms of what kind of change, legacy, transformational impact are you also bringing even to the space of Africa, and learning around some of the trends and the opportunities and the patterns that we are seeing around us as Africa. So that was very relevant also for me, because that's something that I'm also quite passionate about. I mean, of course, I'll leave the rest for the others.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. And it's so clear who you are, the passion you have, the clarity you have. I think you're picking it up. Those of you already having questions, be ready. This is the kind of people that we have out here. Imagine Africa has these people. What a blessing, because that's what we are focused on in TWILE, to create a critical mass of people who, one person is too little. One yakan is too little, one little drop in the ocean. We need billions of people who are passionate, clear, very clear about their leadership legacy, going out, creating wealth, solving problems, imparting, mentoring, And what's interesting? One of our alumni in our past years was a mentor in the 2020 edition. Can you imagine that growth? And guess what? Half fellow with all the experienced mentors we have on our platform. And we can never measure apple for apple, because they're not all apples, they're not all oranges. You can't measure. We have apples, bananas, and everything. But that fellow's fellow, our alumni mentor's fellow, was the highest performing fellow. Of course, it took a lot of different things, not just the mentorship, to get her there. You get it? So also creating that next phase. Behind me, I hope you can see the lighting. We empower you, equip you so that you go and do the same. So it's so good to see these people already. I know a lot of their stories. They're already mentoring others and doing things and creating that critical mass, which is the army that we're looking for. Thank you so much, Jane. Really wonderful to hear from you. Next, I want to talk to Nasreen. Nasreen, karibu, as we say it in Kenya. Muli Bwanji. Where is Nasreen?
Hi, Madam Yakan. I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you finally. Muli Bwanji.
Did we know? Karibu. Karibu sana, right? I hope I'm getting it right.
Well, you've told me welcome so much, but I'll take it.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Yakan. I'm doing good. Sorry,
Awesome.
I came on a bit late because I just had some things that I was doing and lost track on time. And then when I looked at it, oh no, I'm supposed to be on. I apologize. My apologies.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
You set a very high standard on your timings, I think.
Yes, and so for today, yeah.
Also Nasreen. Nasreen is equal. She has a slogan of what is it? On time is late.
Yes, on time is late. Early is on time. Late is unacceptable, and on time is late.
Absolutely. Well, welcome, Nasreen. Tell us about your journey in TWILE. What were your thoughts a year ago when you were thinking of joining TWILE? Why did you join? What was the journey like for you? Where are you at now?
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Good evening to all the fellows, the faculty, and everybody that's online. Welcome to this journey. And as for me, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? At the same time, I was looking at my pocket and I was thinking, okay, I have 2 children at university. I have employment. Obviously, I own a school, so there's so many expenses on me. And then there was the COVID crisis and the school. You know how schools were during the COVID time, where we didn't even know when we're going to open, where the next finances are going to come in. But I then just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And then I joined and here I am. And so much happened and I really, really enjoyed it. So that in Malawi, we had a closure of school and then we reopened. And when we reopened, I thought, oh no, now all our lessons are at a time when I have to be at school. So sometimes I used to actually go into my car, lock myself in the car, close all the windows, and actually do my lesson from the car. I never wanted to miss not one lesson because I always thought that if I miss on it, I miss so much. Though we get notes, but I just enjoyed the faculty teaching, the journey of the way they taught. They taught to you where you could understand clearly how to move from one area to the next area. So I tried my level best not to miss not one. And I looked forward to that particular lesson, that particular day of my lecture, and just listening to them, just listening to the wisdom, listening to the skills, listening to the journey and how to get from one place to another. that for me was the highlight of all things. And I'm an educator. I studied education, and I never knew exactly how to grow my business. And when I listened, every time I listened, I always tell Madam Yakan, I say, you know what, I may not talk a lot, but everything I hear, I actually act on it. And so she says, I know you don't like talking, but then the next thing we know, Nasreen is doing this. Yes, because I'm that way. If I hear something and I know, I pick it up, I take it in, and then I start to implement it. So on my journey of TWILE, I was listening, I was doing everything that I was hearing the faculty teach, and jotting it down, taking it clearly. And today, I didn't have a website. I have a website. There were so many people that I met on the journey of TWILE, through my mentors, through my faculty, through so many people. There's a lady actually from Kenya, her name is Catherine. We're now planning to do a mapping for children, drawing maps for children, how we can teach children to draw maps, how to read maps, map reading. So I'm doing that. This was all because of the TWILE program. We're teaching children now how to do coding. Coding is coming in and children are now learning. On my flight plan, I need to have a computer class. And now I can say I have a computer class. I have a website. I have all these things that are happening. The school is just growing and exploding. And I don't even know where I'm going to put the next lot of children. I'm busy working on that quickly. And all these things happened just because I did the TWILE program. I'm so, so, so grateful to just having joined and just listening to my heart and saying, hey, go for it, do it. I met so many people along the way. I mean, okay, I'm the leader or TWILE leader, but that is also a different journey, which is also very exciting. But this one is more than exciting. I had a mentor. We're working on something. We're going to bring him down. We're going to work on changing the curriculum of Malawi. Wow, what can we say? So many things. I mean, for me, it's a testimony, and it's a really great testimony. So anyone wanting to join this program, I encourage you, please do join the program. You will not regret. You will become the person you're supposed to be in this world. So for me, I'm not going to say too much because Jane already said so much about the program. But for me, it's just gratitude and encouragement to all of you that want to join this journey to please come on board and join. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Nasreen. And you know, every year we've got, the faculty does, let's call it like a raffle, you know, and because sometimes in some years, one fellow can get 2 mentors, you know, a bonus mentor.
Yes.
2020, Nasreen got 2 mentors.
Yes,
One from
I did.
And one from Kenya, right?
That's right.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, if you have your questions, your thoughts, anything you want to ask, start to think about these great alumni and what you want to ask them, feel free. Let's just be able to feel all our questions and our anxieties. So
before I go, I just want to say something.
Yes.
So during the time of COVID and schools were being closed, I also thought about it and said, okay, why rely on just one income? Let me try and do something. And then I started to do honey. I started to bottle honey and start to sell instead of just sitting around and waiting as to when schools were going to open. It was indefinite when schools were going to open. But my honey product started to move from Malawi, and now they're being sold in Botswana. And even it was all to do with the same TWILE program, opening up your mind in not just limiting yourself to one thing, but opening your mind to doing so many other things. On the journey, all the fellows, we are actually doing business together. We are trading, we are getting into business. So many things are happening with people that we would not have even been connected to. So I just want to say that, guys, go for it. Meet new people, people you never knew before, and now other doors will open.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, just for those of you who are listening, you know, we have 4 streams: the corporate stream, business stream, politics, and development. And we've got common sessions, and then we have got, you know, the technical, depending on your area of interest. And in the business stream, one of the things that they deal with is diversification. And so you can hear, you know, and it's always relevant because it's not textbook. It's relevant to your current context, situation, and future. So, you know, that last year, and of course, moving forward, COVID is a reality that has to be taken into consideration. How we remapping, realigning, strengthening, building resilience, opening up in light of that. So it's really good to see that with all your anxieties, your fears, Nazreen, money was a big thing. Your sector was heavily hit. You were just negative on all many fronts, but, you know, within the program, you found resilience, you found diversification, you found new ways of being relevant, quick adoption to technology, and you've grown. So really good to hear you've begun to implement your TWILE flight plan. You already implemented your online presence, your computer lab, coding already. Well done, you know. And, you know, I think maybe all of you who are coming on next, you could just give a snapshot of what that vision was. I think for Nazreen, her flight plan was pegged on influencing the education system through technology. And you can see she already started the steps towards that. Well done. Thank you so much, Nazreen. Guys, begin your questions, be thinking of them. I want to call up next Zonke. Let me call Zonke first. Thembi, you know you're the crown, so even you're dressed for the crown. So that's okay, keep it.
I like that. I like that. I'm sorry about my picture quality. It's not so good. Yeah. But anyway, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be on the call today. I missed everyone that I'm seeing today. Thank you, Madam Nyakan. Anyway, just to get back to the point. Last year, this time, 2020, yes, 2020, it was, I think for me, it was a time of not knowing what to do. It was a time of uncertainty. Remember, COVID had just hit us, and there was a lot that was going on within families, within the country. People were dying at home. There was a lot happening. But I was just saying to myself, you know what? I don't need the gloom and thinking of the worst in this situation. So let me just pick myself up and do something that will make me something that will make me to feel a sense of achievement. But again, that was for me. But when I heard about the program, it so resonated with my values, because here we're talking passion for people. We're talking passion for people's development. We're talking passion for people's growth. We're talking passion for wealth creation. We're talking women empowerment. So those values for me kind of resonated with me, and I felt this was for me. Don't ever think it was easy for me to get into the program. I think Madam Nyakan alluded to that firstly. There was a lot of things, as I'm saying, the challenges by COVID, the finances was an issue. And I was thinking of the time, I did not know if I could make it. But, you know, with the motivation and also listening to Madam Nyakan speak, and all the support that she is willing to give you if you accept it. Now I'm talking her language here, because we give people support, but it's another thing if they're willing to accept it. So that was great for me, the support that she gave, the ideas. And I said to myself, I'm in. And I'm glad I got that support from her. To those people who are coming, who are on the call today, more so those who are doubting if they can join or not join, I would say to you, it will not be a waste of time. Actually, it will be so valuable to you. I've learned many things, but I just want to pick on a few. The first one that was so glaring for me was the fact that as a South African, I'm boxed in my South African way of thinking. I did not take myself as part of the continent. That for me hit me so hard that, you know what, I'm revolving around South Africa, everything around South Africa, thinking South Africans, you know. But when I heard Madam Nyakan speak and all the people that were supporting her and all the mentors, we had a session with the mentors at some point, I felt that, you know what, I had a narrow view of myself and what I was doing. So what it did for me was just to open that view, that worldview for me to say, you know what, I'm on something bigger here, something that is not only to benefit me, but is going to benefit other people. By the way, I have a passion for development of women and youth, and I am in the space, agricultural space. So I see that we can do something there as Africans, because, you know, Africans are renowned for wealth in the land and also the mineral resources. So there's a lot that we can do as Africans in terms of uplifting our own through agriculture, and also exporting our own produce, because I'm learning that Africans previously exported their produce, but now we are the largest importers. So that needs to change. As the name is saying, we are game changers. So I'm in that space, and I would really like to make an impact in that space. And then, so that's what I learned. And then what I learned also is discipline in the course. You know, the time, South African time was very early for attending lectures, but, you know, I did not miss any, and I was not late for the lectures. So that to me was saying the discipline. And what I like is that the show goes on, whether one is there or not. So I liked that. It's something that I learned, that we keep to our integrity, we keep to our word. So that was so profound for me. As I have said, I've learned many things. The course is not only addressing my mental growth in a narrow sense of academics. Academics are very good. We were paired with lecturers that are so knowledgeable, lecturers that, you know, were able to dig down to who we are and what we understand of the issue that is put on table. You know, when you talk transformation, what does that mean for me? When I talk passion, what is passion for me? When I talk purpose, what is purpose for me? When I talk about supporting other people in doing what, wanting to gain what? So those questions were so fundamental, and I learned so much to be able to package myself, because this is one thing that Madam Nyakan always say, that we need to package ourselves, package yourself as a person, package your business such that people know what you offer, because that is going to attract people to what you do or what you want to offer them. And just to on a lighter note, I am on network businesses, like selling your products, distributing. So we always say that we are selling this for a person to make a profit. I think that's a good thing, because all we want to make profit. But then what I'm learning from the program is that, what solution am I bringing to that person? What is the problem of that person that I'm trying to solve by selling them the product? So those are the minor things, but very important, as to how we package ourselves, how we package our content. So hence I'm saying that it is not necessarily a narrow view of academics, but it's a mental growth, a comprehensive way of approaching myself as a business person or as a person who's working wherever I'm working. So emotional growth is there as well, because they are not treating us like people who need to be kind of handheld and spoon-fed. They want us to be able to stand on our own. So they are firm, they are willing to impart the knowledge that they have, but we must do our part. So that made us to grow a lot. So the pillars of the program resonate with me because I would like to leave a legacy in this world. I would like to leave a legacy in my family, in my community, in my society. So I'm the person who likes to bring change where I am, positive change for that matter. So the legacy that I would like to leave and that I'm working on is to say people were able to grow, and people were able to own and work on agricultural land, which is an undying wealth for Africans. We all know that. So I want to leave that legacy of developing women and youth in that sphere. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm still continuing in a small way with the agricultural project that I was doing. But what the program has done, it has given me a fast pace now. I'm galloping because I had a land that I was not using at home, my own land. But let me tell you that I've started work on that land. So I'm proud of myself in that regard. And in that land as well, there's a little shop that I was not using, not doing anything about it, being vandalized. But now the pace that I've received from the TWILE program, that is being renovated, and I will be opening that business in a month or so time. So the pace that the program has given me, and the things must be done, the things must be completed. You must finish something and do something else. So that is what the program has done to me. And it has also, I didn't know that I've done a lot of things. It has also helped me to I'm a social worker by profession, by the way. So but I'm not a practicing social worker. But I said to myself, I needed to do something about that because it's something that I have. So I've registered. I'm running a private practice as we speak. It's not taken off yet in terms of people knowing about it. That's another thing that I need to do to market that. But I've registered. I've done all the things that I have to do for the South African law for me to be able to practice as a social worker. So hence I'm saying that the program has given me that ability to want to do things and finish the project that I've begun. So there's work that is happening through the TWILE program, and the agricultural project or the agricultural business is linked to my TWILE flight plan, because that was my presentation in the TWILE flight plan, where I want to be short-term, medium, and long-term, and what are the actions. So I've started on my action. And then I just want to say with regards to that, South Africa is going to know about it, and Africa is going to know about it, and the world ultimately will know about it. So it has been a great journey, and it's an exciting journey for me. And I encourage everyone who thinks that this is not for them. It cannot not be for you, more especially if you are a woman. This is for you. And one other thing that also I referred to, emotional growth. We also a spiritual group here. I was excited with that, spiritual in terms of Christianity, because there's many spiritualities out there, but spiritual in terms of Christianity. So also that was very helpful for us, because even if I was lazy or even if I didn't understand something, it was easy for me to approach my fellow. We treated ourselves in a very respectful way, and we always wanted to share knowledge with each other. I cannot mention the relationship that we had with the mentor. It was very exciting because the mentor pairing is another exciting. Come join the program. Come join the program. I cannot say it more or in the manner that you would experience it when you are in the program. So thank you ever so much, Madam Nyakan, my fellows, and everyone.
You guys following her, I'm listening to her and I can go through her journey. You're going step by, you really feel it, you get it. And I'm so proud of you guys. You have owned your journey. You've owned your legacy roadmaps. You have owned it. You are going, you are doing. Africa will hear of you. The world will hear of all of you guys, for sure. Your game changers, and it's visible. And it's your thing. You can hear there's no one, it's you. It's your thing, And the things you're talking about, I can even feel them myself, you know? The one thing the faculty has to keep doing, you know, when the sessions end and you move on to the next phase of mentorship, people are like, are the classes? No, they can't. We have, you know, we're so used to getting on this. We need it for our weekly, you know, mind and everything. But it's so good that you've walked the entire journey and you guys keep moving. And yes, for those of you who are listening, the program is FARM because we're building leaders, game changers, critical thinkers, problem solvers, wealth creators for the continent. So we're not going to spoon feed you. You'll have a faculty that's very available, supportive, brilliant and all, but you will do the work. You will find you and you will create your legacy, you know? So thank you so much, Zonke, for sharing and the leadership you've really shown. I look forward to feeling and you in this part of Africa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Gloria, I'd love to call Gloria up next. Gloria, by the way, the program is male and female, right? It just happens that we've got more females in this edition than we had males. Gloria, are you on? Take the mic.
Yeah.
And after Gloria, Priska. I see Rebecca, you're also on. I mean, can you imagine that we only had like 4, you know, alumni and 5 for this today, but we have like, they are connected. And the program, you know, already ended, but this is a movement. It's a movement. There's no end to it. It's a continuous journey. So Gloria, welcome. Welcome, Gloria. Where are you?
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nyakan. You can hear me?
Yes, but I can't see you. Where are you? Is her video on? Yes, I can see you now.
Yes.
Good to see you, Gloria.
Yes. Thank you, Nyakan.
So
Thank you so much.
Having a coffee chat with the TWILE alumni. You know, we've got people on from all over the world connected. People who, of course, are excited, interested in joining TWILE. Some have already joined, but they've got questions in their head. 1 year behind, a year ago, a time like this, you were in a process where you were thinking, do I join TWILE? Do I not? You know, all those questions you were having, what was it like for you 1 year ago, a time like this? What was going on in your head? Why did you join? What were your highlights? Where are you now?
Wow, I think, thank you for this opportunity. I really am glad to have joined TWILE a year ago. I think at first I had so many doubts because I was not sure about the timing, and also I was seeing maybe the finances bit. I was said, let me just take a step of faith. And I think also for me, I was in a space where I wanted to do something great, but I'm a banker as well. And I was like, how do I'm in employment. How do I get to join that dot of doing something beyond employment or beyond my job that can impact youth and women in business? So for me, when I read about TWILE and the course content, I'm like, yeah, this is the best thing I think for me to do right now. So at the same time, COVID hit, and then we had to work from home. So it was perfect because now I could work from home and do TWILE from home and also do office work. So, and then at the same time, when I was thinking about the finances, I asked myself, now, how will I? So I just said, God, you know what, you're going to provide for the program. So actually, a few months later, I got promoted, and now I was able to get a facility where I was able to actually finance the program. So I think it was perfectly timed, and I think I really thank God because He ordered my steps, and it was just the perfect thing for me to do at that time. I think when I joined the modules, the course content was perfect because it was not textbook. The faculty was just amazing because even the way they delivered the content was things I had never learned before. For example, even like emotional intelligence, just realizing that everyone is different. And because we are all different, everyone brings something different to the table. We cannot all be the same, even in personality wise. You can be doing a presentation to someone who is very mathematical. How do you tailor your presentation to someone who you want to prove your proposal, who is very analytical? How do you tailor? How do you work with different personalities? So I realized that actually, you know, we can't all be the same. And people cannot be everyone, not everyone can be like me. I even started understanding that my boss is very different also. And I started to adapt according to his style of leadership. And I think we started to get on. So I realized, you know what, as we learn about different personalities and different people, we are better able to get on with different personalities. And that was we learned in emotional intelligence course, which I had never learned before. And then there was also the module on social and economic empowerment, which Madam Nyakan was teaching on. And the way she delivered that module and just teaching us how Africa is so unexploited using data, the different maps which were presented and just showed that Africa had so much potential in agriculture. And I realized, you know what, it's sometimes we go to the table negotiating for things without information or data to back up our presentations or what we want to present forward. So I realized, you know what, you have to do research. You have to do very deep, intense research and make your own analysis so that when you come to the table and discussing something like farming or something like politics or anything which maybe needs policy change, you need to actually come with information. So it's actually made me realize that even African leaders, people when they go to negotiate for these agreements and contracts out there, they don't have information. So they're outwitted by the Western powers because we don't have the facts, we don't have people who are able to negotiate deals for Africa, which can make a difference in Africa. So actually it's having facts, having information, doing your research in whichever area. Like I did more research on, which is my area, on social and economic empowerment in terms of financing. How do you finance women? How do you finance youth? So I was even paired with a mentor who is a CEO of the Women Enterprise Fund, Dr. Engineer Murigi. So I was able to also learn so much about women. How do you tailor? How do you package a product and then sell it? Or how do you finance women? How do you finance youth? How do you tailor a product which you're able to sell out there and provide financing? So actually I've learned so much, so many things came together. So so the course was so valuable, the mentorship was invaluable, the lecturers were fantastic, even the module on leadership and ethical leadership, it was just great because now I realized, you know what, we cannot move forward without ethical leadership in Africa. So so those modules really made a difference for me. So when I was actually coming down to doing my TWILE flight plan, at first I was talking about economic empowerment in terms of financing, but then just when I was in the middle of the program, my dad passed on, and just after that, so many things came to my mind because he had already started programs on social and economic empowerment and ethical leadership. And so there were some programs that already started working on. So at that point, everything just started to come together. Social economic empowerment, which we were learning in TWILE, leadership, ethical leadership, we had already learned in TWILE. So my dots started joining together. So I really thank God because everything was ordered of the Lord. And I realized that even the things that I was learning now I was thrown in the deep end. Now I had to now come up with, my mom was telling me, just do something, just write something, what your dad was doing, and then add to what you're also doing, then you can you can run with it. So by that time, when my mom was telling me to write up something, actually, I remembered, wow, you know what? There's TWILE and there's a TWILE flight plan. Let me add it together into my flight plan. So I also included it in my flight plan. And so I even got late in handing it because now the ideas were coming together. And I actually realized that my calling is on youth, women, in financing, in mentoring youth, on ethical leadership, which now I was able to take up now from my dad, and also so many other things. So I also realized that I can do something in the North Rift on farming. I have a sibling who is doing some research on organic farming. So she's already put a group of farmers together, and so she's already training the farmers on the organic farming, which is where Africa needs to go, because we need to take on organic farming and take it to a deeper level. So I realized that we can bring together youth, train them, get also the farmers in the North Rift and get to train them on organic farming. And also another idea came to me that we can actually get leaders in the North Rift together, and whether it's members of parliament, technocrats, and come together and agree, what can we do to farmers to change policies? What can we do that can make a difference? So it's also bringing people together and sitting with different people from different spheres and coming to say, you know what can we do for this group of people? How do we change policy? How can we move forward? Do we need technocrats? Do we need these change policies to change? So many things came together, and I was able to bring them together in my flight plan. But though there are many different areas which I'll still try and bring them together. And I realized that, you know what, I think TWILE just lit the thing for me, because I also realized someone like Nyakan has also been able to move in Africa, move in different places, open offices in different parts of Africa, just with the same vision. So I'm like, what is stopping us? What is stopping us when we have someone like Nyakan? She's already gone ahead. So we need to also go ahead. So I also realized, you know what, with the network we have in Africa, we can exchange ideas. We can exchange ideas with the different players in Zimbabwe, all the other countries which we have networks. We can get together. We say, what are you doing in your country for your farmers? What are you doing in your country for women in business? What are you doing for the youth? So we borrow ideas together, come together and exchange ideas and move forward. So I think for me, I'm so glad that I did TWILE. And I'm now, I have changed, my personality has changed. I'm becoming more aggressive, more assertive. And my passion is just lighting, it's becoming now lighting up my flame. So I really thank God for Nyakan, for the TWILE fellows. We have been able to make good friends together. We have been able to exchange ideas. We have learned so much from each other. And this has been the greatest investment I've done, I think, in my life. So I thank the program, the coordinators, the mentors. It's been amazing. I think I'll stop there for now.
Awesome. And for those of you who had never met Gloria before, Gloria would have been described as introvert, silent, shy, diplomatic, and quiet, right? And now that you're talking, your eyes are lighting, you're confident, you have clarity, really proud of the milestones. And I mean, the faculty watching, hearing you guys, they are absolutely proud of what you guys have achieved. You've put in the work. You see, you have that ownership. Each and every one of you is describing your journey, your roadmap, where you're going, and you're owning it. We are absolutely proud of you. Thank you so much for sharing. You've given us such a good, overall feedback. And obviously, we are looking to feel the ripples of everything that you're doing, for sure. And I hope you're all hearing them say they are a network for themselves. I know that the faculty keeps sharing internally how you guys are doing business together, you're connecting each other's connections. Someone is transporting, shipping things from Botswana to Malawi to wherever, it's awesome. Keep it up, guys. I'd love to introduce just 2 more people, 5 minutes each, and then start sharing your questions. Please raise your hand if you have questions. There's nothing right or wrong here. Please feel free, because you've got to make great decisions for your life today in this season, I'd love to call up Esther Karegi, if you're on. Is Esther on? Priska, are you on? I see Priska on. Priska, could you just briefly give us your journey, and then Esther share your journey, and then Thembi, you can crown it all. And then we begin to take questions from our guests, our TWILE 6th edition, fellows in waiting. Yeah. All those who are online, right? Who's ready? Priska,
Yeah,
Esther?
yeah.
Esther, go ahead. Is that Esther speaking?
That's Priska. Priska can go ahead.
Priska, go ahead.
Okay, just a brief one. Priska is from Botswana, and I'm in the health field. And when I joined TWILE, I was actually, I think, I was being, what can I say? Not really being forced, but being someone was really trying to convince me that you need to join this program. It will really do you good in terms of, you see, when you are in the health, sometimes we don't look at health as business so much. It's so much of profession, and I can't make money out of this, and so forth and so on. But eventually I did join, and a lot, what went in me a lot was self-reflection, and because I doubted myself a lot at the beginning. But I must say, where I am now after joining the TWILE, I have no fear. I don't self-doubt. I began to have some confidence that with the business that I had started, which was not doing very good. It's still not doing good, but I still feel that from what I learned, I can make a lot of changes in my business. And one thing that I must share with everybody is that I've learned that business is a journey. You cannot expect to, like, okay, I joined last year. I don't expect to see miracles or to be wealthy and making millions in less than a year or 2 years. So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of pushing yourself and convincing people that what you are trying to offer them does work. So it's a journey, and I'm still working on it. But at least TWILE has made me to be resilient, to keep moving, and to keep convincing people. It's not easy to convince people of your services, especially where there's lots of it in the market. What is yours going to be different from the other person? And as nurses, we are competing with medical doctors, so it's a whole lot of issues there to address. But I'm where I am now. I'm happy because I'm pushing on, and I'm not going to give up. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much, Priska. And Priska, we know that you really circumvented the health sector. Really was really under a lot of pressure that year, and we're proud to see the milestones you're making. Proud to see the diversification. I think you went into the whole COVID, not just reacting and resilience, but also in the business side. Now you're exporting. A couple of things in that space. You've diversified your business, and we're praying for the best. Well done. Yeah, you forgot to talk about your flight plan in the health space, but and all the millions of health workers that you're connecting with to be part of that movement. So congratulations, Priska, and we wish you the best. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Yeah, Esther, are you on?
Yes, Madam Nyakana, I'm on.
Awesome, take it. How was life for you 1 year ago? Where are you at now? What were your highlights? Yeah.
Excellent, I can do that. Yeah. So yes, my name is Esther Karegi. I work for CPF Financial Services under the subsidiary that is the property subsidiary. So 1 year ago, before I joined TWILE, I had a very narrow mindset of what I can achieve as a person. My achievements were limited to my personal targets, and that was it. And deep down inside, I could feel there is something bigger than this. There is something bigger to live for than just meeting the targets, dotting the I's and the T's. So when I joined TWILE, I'll be honest, and I'll say this for the sake of those coming in, I was not quite psychologically prepared for it as a leadership program. So at some point, it felt like, wow, this is quite a lot. Will I hack it? Will I make it to the end? But I purposed I'm not a quitter. I'll stay on until the end and see what comes out of it. Sometimes it would feel like what Madam Nyakan is talking about is above my head, way above my head. Can this really happen? Can I make a difference beyond my institution? Can I make a difference beyond my department? And can I find my way to sit on the tables that matter? And I remember my first day at TWILE, one of the things when we were asked, I think, was it what is our expectation? I don't remember what question that was, but I remember saying that one of the things I want to achieve is to find myself in the tables that matter, not just to make money, but there has to be a bigger purpose than just making money, making a difference. Is it possible for me to make a difference? So the classes were exciting. I must say one of the things I really must commend TWILE for is the ability to bring the different nationalities together. That kind of exposure, you won't find it all by yourself in Google or in you reading books. That personal touch, when I hear Nazreen share her experience and I hear Zonke share her experience, it's
it's an experience that I cannot quite quantify in terms of money. So for me, I found it very exciting that we were being given an opportunity to interact across the globe, to hear what are the issues in South Africa and what are the issues in all these other countries, what is happening in Malawi, and how does it relate to what we are learning. It was very, very exciting for me. On the leadership front, I picked quite a bit. And this, those people who report to me can give testimony, and the people that I report to can also give testimony. I have really changed because the leadership class helped me to categorize the different people depending on what kind of a people they are. And that has made my team so vibrant. And I've been able to, I would get very frustrated. Why can't they just get it? Because I wanted them to be like me, to think like me, to act like me, but they're not. So I think the class really helped me to know they're different people. The way they act is different. If you want results from these people, this is how you handle the different kind of people. The results are amazing. The results are amazing at my workplace. So I was looking to go up the corporate ladder. For me, my stream was not business. My stream was the corporate line, those pursuing growth in the corporate field and looking to make a difference for things that touch beyond my organization. So in my TWILE flight plan, what I picked was affordable housing. And that is something that I have continued to pursue. I'll say this, since I joined TWILE, it gave me, there's something Madam Nyakan taught us that I had never realized. I kept wondering, how come Nyakan has so much confidence? It's too much. Where does she get it from? What does she do that I don't? And it hit me, one of the things was data. And I think Gloria has mentioned that. If you have information, if you have your facts, if you have the passion, then people will come for you. The right tables will be set for you. And I can tell you, I've found myself sitting in the right tables, both before I cleared my TWILE flight plan and my class. I already had found my way into the committees that are discussing affordable housing within my institution. Interestingly, I was actually roped into committees that are not just formed internally, but also where we are partnering with the government, and I would be invited to sit in those committees. And for me, that's very exciting. I shared some of my thoughts with my seniors about how I want the common mwananchi to access housing without feeling like they're left out in terms of financing. And amazingly, while those ideas they would probably have thought about them, they hadn't. Yet it's like when I shared, they're like, yeah, Mama Mboga can actually afford a house if they take the route that you are proposing. And that excited me. So right now we are still in the process of tailoring some of the projects. We have 2 projects that we will be rolling out hopefully soon. And the ideas that I'm drawing and putting up were actually inspired by being in the TWILE class, where I make a difference, not just in my institution, not just in my department, but I'm making I'm bringing on the table solutions that will affect the common mwananchi across the nation, across the continent, across the globe. And it's becoming a reality. The fact that I can make a Mama Mboga in Kisumu, all the way in Kisumu, afford a house in Kisumu is exciting for me. So I want to encourage those who are coming on board. As you come on board, keep in mind it's a leadership program. Leaders are expected to give a little more than everybody else. Leaders are expected to be visionary. So you have to allow yourself, as your mind is being opened, agree and allow yourself to think big. If you choose to remain in your cocoon, then this program may not work so well for you. If you're in the program just to do what you have planned to do, this program may not work for you. You have to, for you to get the most out of it, come in with an open mind that this is as far as I have thought, but there is so much more that can be done, or there's so much more that I can learn. With such an open mind, there is so much. There is so much wisdom. There is so much depth from the faculty that you can glean from. If you are not ready, then it won't work for you. And in that case, then you can't blame the faculty. It's more to blame yourself than the faculty. I learned a lot of discipline in the process, and leadership comes with discipline. You can't be a leader who is indisciplined and expect that those following you will be disciplined. So it comes with a lot of discipline, as I think, I don't know whether it's Zonke who mentioned the timings, talking about the consistency. Every week we would meet without fail. It takes that extra mile to be able to make it. But if you do, you will be glad you are part of it. So I want to thank you, TWILE, for putting together such a team. I can confidently say that I am a woman leader in Africa, and I'm about to make a difference, not just locally, but across the continent and globally. That confidence comes from that which I picked from TWILE. Not just education, but even the interactions from the various faculty members, from my fellows. It was very, very rich. So karibu, all the people who are joining, karibu sana. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Nyakan.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much, Esther. You've done very well. Just like, listening to you guys, I hope you guys can hear and pick. This is a sample of the many, many alumni on the program. You own your process, you have the support, you have whatever it is that you need becomes available to propel you. The confidence comes because you now know why. You know why, you know what you're about, you know how uniquely positioned you are for a specific cause. And that just automatically gives you confidence and a voice. The fire in your eyes begins to light, I'm just so grateful, listening to all of you, and very proud of the milestones you're making. And so last but not least, I want to invite Thembi Sile from Botswana, to just crown this session. Thembi was, like I mentioned, the leader of the 5th edition of TWILE mentorship program, class of 2020, the Game Changers edition. Thembi, take it up. Where were you 1 year ago at a time like this? You're in the financial sector that was hit immediately with COVID. What were your thoughts? What were you looking for? How did TWILE impact you? Where are you now? Where are you going?
Thank you very much, Madam Nyakan. Greetings to the upcoming 2021 TWILE leaders. I'll call you leaders in advance because the program is all about leadership. And thank you, Jane. Thank you, everybody, every fellow who has presented. Last year, this time, I was in a crossroads because I remember that when I was to join the program, I actually had so many barriers that were in my mind, whether to join or not to join, especially considering the industry I'm in and also looking at, what is going to be the likely impact in the industry with COVID-19. But then I remember that while I was still tossing with that idea, Madam Nyakan called me and said, "I'm excited. I hear that you are joining TWILE." Now, I'm a person of commitment. This is who I am. So after that call, I just told myself that, you know what, I cannot make a commitment and then pull out of it. So I told myself, I'm joining TWILE. I joined TWILE. One thing that I can share with those who will be onboarding for this year is that it's a practical program, like Madam Nyakan has said. When I looked at it, one of the reasons why I was having doubts in my mind, I thought leadership, I've worked in a financial institution, I have led, I've done all the leadership, I've been in boards, and how different is this one? But then when I finally looked at the program, I realized that actually there isn't much of the leadership which I would say I have known while I worked for the corporate sector. So it really, hit home to me that this is something that I should do. And one thing that kept on drawing me into the program, it was the fact that it was solving Africa's problems and creating wealth. Because one thing that I've always heard was that how can I be, participate in a bigger sphere in Africa rather than just my own small country. So that was actually drawing me into the program, that if I'm going to solve Africa's problems, then it means it's a program that I should join. After I joined TWILE, one thing that also hit me was the leadership styles that Madame Yakan taught us in the first in her program. I then realized that in actual fact, I thought I knew my leadership style, and yet I actually didn't know it. And when I looked at that leadership style that was resonating with me in those styles which she presented, I realized that that is the right style that I have. And since then, it has helped me to understand that when you are a leader and you lead people, you should understand your style and understand how you interact with the various styles to work with. And I think that's what has actually helped me, even when I was leading, the fellows, that I understood my style, and I also put forward to understand the style of the people that I'm working with. And that has helped me to harness the good in the fellows that I worked with, because now I understood what kind of leadership style I have and what kind of leadership styles do they have. But most importantly, I also understand the emotional intelligence. Somebody mentioned earlier the issue of emotional intelligence. I think it's something that I had never taken it very seriously. But then I realized that one thing that I have in me, it's empathy. Something that I've always told myself that it's actually not a good thing. But in TWILE, I actually acknowledged that I'm an empathic person, and therefore I need to lead with that, knowing that I'm an empathic person. So in terms of my business, TWILE actually helped me in terms of understanding how I could structure the business during a crisis. When we did, the big mindset and did the business models, I came up with a business model that, finally worked for me to be able to, to ride the tide during TWILE. I mean, during COVID. So even though COVID had hit the financial sector, I found that because of what I was being taught in TWILE, and I implemented that, my business actually began to go up despite the economic conditions that were there. Because when I implemented the business models, I found that it actually works better. It's giving me a better way of doing business, something that I had never actually known as to what I could do to improve my business. And also just to understand, the business structure. Because one thing I remember that we were being taught, it was a cash flow management in one of the programs. And one thing at the beginning, when we were asked, what do you want to learn out of it? And I actually said, I want to learn how to prepare my own cash flow, because to rely on somebody to prepare your cash flow, you are always looking at a document, and therefore you cannot influence what actually goes in there. I then learned in TWILE as to how I could prepare my business cash flow myself and be able to influence the figures that goes in there. And then my business then improved out of that. But then I could also say, that was what the business was like. In my flight plan, during the TWILE, one thing that I'd always been passionate about was to make a difference in other people's lives. And that is my legacy, that I want to make a business. I mean, I want to make a difference in other people's lives. So during TWILE, I actually transitioned from the financial sector sphere. That is, I now came up with a business that I'm working on now, which is to make a difference in women, in older women's lives, because you find that older women feel that time has passed them by, there is nothing that they can do. So I'm working on a mentorship program, and that is my future sphere of influence, is to make sure that I mentor older women so that they can be able to bring societies together, they can be able to bring families together, they can feel that they can add value themselves, they can live their dreams, and they can live, they can fulfill their purpose. So that's what I'm working on. Since preparing my flight plan, I am working on registering a business on that. I'm working on the strategies as to how to do that. And I can also say my mentor, I must really, congratulate Madam Nyakan, because in that mentor pairing, I was really surprised that I was paired with a mentor who we just fit together like glue. And that working with my mentor actually opened doors for me. She opened doors for me for, to be part of organizations that are dealing with financing women, and also positioning me in a much better position in SADC, so that I can be able to, to influence Africa in a much bigger way, rather than just Botswana. And I really say, Madam Nyakan, you really hear from God, and you know who needs who, when, and how. So that actually opened doors for me. My mentor is such a lovely lady. And if it were not for COVID, I think I would have flown to Kenya myself just to see her face to face. And I'm still saying, as COVID eases off, I am flying off to Kenya to see my mentor. Now, this is where I am in terms of my flight plan. But one thing that I could also say to those who are joining is that, when you carry a passion within you, and when you are fulfilling your purpose, for some strange reason, it seems to resonate to other people that, you never even knew. Since I was in TWILE, I finally found myself with opportunities open for me to present, invited to go to graduation ceremonies, to speak, to be part of a panel in church, and those things are actually dealing with women. So it gives me the feeling that, your leadership will resonate to other people, and they will open doors for you without you even saying anything, because people see in you that you have the capability to do something. So I would say those who are coming through, do not actually even think that is it a right program for you, as long as you have a passion of doing something. But then again, you might also be having a dream that is, latent in your mind, and we are not even quite sure whether that's the thing that you really want to do. There are things that we question ourselves, like the mentoring, which I'm talking about. I actually, before I joined TWILE, I used to question myself, is it really something that I could do? But when I was in TWILE, it became very clear that that's where my calling is actually, is to improve older women's lives so that they can improve the bigger sphere of society. So that's something that I went there questioning, but now I've come out with a flight plan. I know that is my legacy. That's what I have to, to leave behind, that, I should leave families that are intact. I should leave, spiritual people who are mentored by older women, who knows as to what it is, what they have gone through, and they can impart that knowledge to the younger generation. And of course, I also have, passion for youth as well. That's something that I'm also working on in terms of doing some recycling businesses, improving the youth, especially in the rural areas, because you find that they are, marginalized, they are not able to do certain things for themselves. So that's something that I'm also working on at the moment. So I would really advise those who are here, and also that they pass on the message to others that TWILE is a program that transforms not only your life, but transforms your society, your country, your economy, and beyond where you are. The mentorship program, the networking, it's so good, because now I have people right across the various countries. The fellows that we're with, we are continuing to communicate, we are continuing to see as to how best we can be the best leaders for Africa. But one most important thing is that you begin to see Africa in a different light. Because one thing that we found that as we were doing during the program, we finally realized that issues of gender violence, there are things that cut across Africa. And it's something that as women, we have to come together and solve such a problem of gender-based violence. If we had not come together, maybe I would have been in Botswana, somebody would have been somewhere else, and not know exactly as to how we can put everything together. So TWILE does not only look at your practical subject, it also look at Africa as a whole. What can you do for Africa? What can you improve? How can you transform the lives of people in Africa as a whole? And of course, others have mentioned that Madam Yakan is a person who gives us data. And before I joined TWILE, there were certain things that I didn't know that were happening in Africa. I just, despite my leadership in organizations, I never paid any special attention to what was happening in Africa. But with that now, I know what is happening in Africa. And I know that Africa is waiting for women who are transformed. It's waiting for men to work alongside women to transform Africa so that Africa can take its own pedestal where it's supposed to be. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. You can hear the passion and the silence as we're listening. Nadia in the group says, wow, you're a leader. And your fellows are just giving you thumbs up, guys. I can see the energy between yourselves. Priska adds on there, sorry, I couldn't share everything, but I wanted to emphasize on the impact TWILE left on me of not limiting myself, but connecting myself to the rest of the world. I am now connected to a team in the US health team who are looking to supply antigen test kits. And we're looking at most economic laboratory supplies of using blood card that requires less lab facilities, but can test a number of tests. So yes, there's a lot to do and a lot of potential for my business. Thank you so much. I hope to continue the interaction. Awesome, awesome. Guys, you guys have been awesome. Now, I just want to open up for questions. Please raise your hand. Feel free. Ask questions. Nolwando, Mawetu, go ahead. Go ahead, Mawetu. Unmute yourself. And yeah, you can unmute Mawetu.
Hello, just accept that request I've sent to you, asking you to unmute.
Okay.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, firstly, I must actually confess to say, I came across your, Madam Yakan, I came across your, can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I came across your WhatsApp group. Remember when you had the investment stuff and so on?
Yes.
And it was exciting stuff. Well, I don't want to talk a lot about that anyway.
Yeah.
And then I've been seeing a lot of streaming of your work and so on. And I'm based in South Africa. And then in South Africa, there's this thing of Tuesday where ladies display their sort of products and so on.
Yeah.
I sometimes look at that with interest and so on, and it's very interesting, So firstly, I must thank you. I must congratulate you for still, running this marathon. That type of thing.
Thank you.
It's not easy, and it's not easy from a point of view of when you start something, like when you started it. It was big because of the investment opportunities. But then there were a lot of disappointments. I'm sure it happens to everything. Then I'm sure it went down. But you see, fundamentally, you were driving something beyond investment opportunities to what I'm seeing now. For instance, what I'm seeing today, it's something baffling me. I was not going to stay long because I had other commitments, but I was interested to say, what is this TWILE all about? So I don't know if you know about it. So I then the first lady presented until the last one presented. I was just sitting and listening. Yeah. And so, you know, when you look at the presentations of the ladies, it's out of this world. You know, what each one carries in terms of, you know, what I like with them, when they talk, they are very authentic as well. You know, that type of thing. They talk from the heart, you know? Yeah. And you can see it's different experiences, and they are very confident. And they can talk about where they come from in terms of when they started this program, what it has made to them, and where they are now, and what the future holds for them. It's exciting. I hope you are going to document this somewhere in social media, because people must see these things. You know, the other thing we don't do a lot in Africa is to glorify good things. We glorify a lot of bad things, you know. So I hope your media specialists, what have you, they'll put up something, you know, because the more people take note of what the good work we are doing, and the more people are going to get interested, because we need a lot of troops in Africa. The more troops we have tackling different issues, you know what I like with your ladies, you know, because you know this thing of entrepreneurship, people look for money. No, you must look for a purpose. You must start with a purpose, and then you must look at, you know, your ladies have, some of them have captured it. You look at doing a solution for whatever community and so on. You build a package, a sort of a solution, a package solution. Then money will come, because obviously customers are going to come and spread all over. So I don't know what your faculty is like, and I'm interested in something that I'm going to look at as well and see what's happening. But I'm saying to you, you are doing very good work.
Thank you so much.
June, and I'm very excited. And keep up the good work. And I hope when you come to South Africa one day, I'll be one of the people that are going to host you. I put my invitation forward.
Thank you so much, Mawethu. And I'm really, really grateful for your feedback. You know, what you must understand is we are authentic. The word caught me. This is not showbiz. This is not check boxes. This is transformation, generational legacy.
Yes.
And so you can hear what the women have presented is what they have got. It's what the faculty modifies. It's what the mentors modify. It's what the program team modifies. It's the value system of TWILE, of timeless.
Yes.
What are you doing? What are you solving? How are you solving a problem and creating wealth? There's sessions that say in the program that the minute you start to solve problems, money runs after you. It comes chasing, running, you know, it does. And so it realigns the thinking of our fellows, men and women. I'm also looking forward to you joining the program. Men and women, it aligns the thinking as to what is it am I giving? It's not just about economics. It's about the whole picture, and you can feel it in what the women have shared. This is not this is real life, you know. And I'm really so proud of that. Thank you for staying on, and thank you for the feedback. And yes, South Africa is one of our countries. I'm always there, and I'll be sure to contact you when I'm coming next.
Certainly. I love Kenya. I love Kenya a lot. I love Botswana. I love Malawi. I love Zimbabwe. I love everything. And we guys need to be together because we are one community. And
so really, you're just right. You're just right for TWILE. You're right for this edition. We'll be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch. Nwandu, did you want to say something? Nwandu, Ogomatso, Charles, thank you for being online from open day one all the way. You're already a game changer, and every other edition, I guess, that's coming. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mawethu.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much. You know, I even pat myself on the shoulder for connecting and joining today. And I thank God that today I had the time to join. And I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I am so inspired. I am so inspired. And today I know that I am a woman leader in Africa. No more will I box myself in South Africa. I know today that I'm a woman leader that can make a difference in the whole of Africa and the world. And the program seems very interesting. The presentations were so awesome. I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired. I'm so glad to see you, Madam Nyakan. I usually see your posters in the group. I'm also in South Africa.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, I will inquire more on the WhatsApp group. So I won't spend your time here asking about the program and how to.
Yeah, how to join. Welcome on for the 6th edition class of 2021. For sure, you're already a game changer. And by the way, the 6th edition will have its own name. So, you know, we've got it ready and you become, you know, that for that edition. And thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing your comments. Anybody else wants to ask a question, share a comment? Before, I just want to now say the registration for the program is ongoing right now. So the link is on the group, the contacts on the group. We will be reaching out to you, our team will be reaching out to you just to sign you up. This whole month, we are registering and onboarding you in preparation for the launch. The launch, we will meet your fellow fellows from all the countries. You'll meet the faculty. You'll receive the program outline. You'll be onboarded onto the platforms. You'll be told about everything about the program. And that's happening immediately after you register, you get the information. So join all those who have registered, come on board. You already will have access to the TWILE alumni that have been on the program before. So these great people and more, you'll have access to them and our mentors and the faculty. So thank you so much. We have our website, www.twowafrica.com, TWOWAfrica.com. You can go on there. The program is TWILE, TWILE. You will find it online, register. You just click and you register. You'll have different payment options online. Once you get online, you'll be onboarded. Our teams will be in touch with you, and we look forward to a vibrant impact. Just before we wind up, I just want to share the structure of the program. It's an 8-month flexible program. The first 3 months are when you attend the sessions every Thursday, the first 3 months. And the next 5 months, you go on to the mentorship, you interact with the faculty, and you prepare your flight plan. The last 2 months, which is within the 5 months, you will be working very closely with the faculty to prepare your flight plans and to be ready to take off from the program. And you graduate every February. So we're looking forward to having you on board. Thank you, alumni. You guys are awesome, awesome. I think Africa and the world is absolutely privileged to have you alive because there's what they're going to be receiving. You know, really proud of you guys. So we continue to create this vibrant movement of change agents who are transformative leaders, who are leaving legacies, who are mentoring, and who have a cause and are wealth creators, right? So for now, I'll say goodbye. Please take note of our emails there, telephone numbers there. Our groups are available. The men on the group, we welcome. The women, welcome. You know, we just look forward to what 2021 presents for us, our 6th edition. So God bless you all. Thank you, alumni, for your inspiring stories. And I'm sure that we'll be engaging and seeing you guys and the impact that you're creating wherever. The new fellows coming in, welcome. We look forward to you engaging, not just with Africa, but with the world. Yeah, leadership is a global agenda. All the best, everybody, and good night.
Thank you, Madam. Welcome, new fellows.
Thank you, Madam Nyakan.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you, my fellow fellows.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye, fellows.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome on board.
Thank you, Jane.
African leaders, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Zanki.
Bye.